Now look, if you watch one video about this new bike, the Triumph Tiger Sport 660, then please make it this one.
No, you can watch this one as well. You're not just limited to one video. You have plenty of choice. Just like how Triumph has added even more choice to one of the best-selling segments out there, the mid-sized sports tourers. Welcome back to Long Way Home, everyone. The place where getting your motorcycle news is easier than waiting for Long Way Home to post some motorcycle news, but not by much. Ha 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 ha. But you're right, yeah. The Suzuki V-Stroms, the Small Versus, the Tracer 7 and the likes have been ruling this segment of motorcycling for as long as anyone can remember. And Triumph wouldn't have any of it anymore. So here is their new Tiger Sport 660. Priced accordingly and with modern tech, the new Sport 660 is poised to really shake things up in the sports touring world. So if this is something that interests you, stick around. Now, let's start with the most important spec when choosing a bike in this mid-size category, and that would be, hands down, price. Here, riders are looking for very good value and a bike which can literally do it all while touring. The new Tiger Sport 660 retails for $9,300 US, and while this is just a tad above its competition, you are getting more performance, and Triumph has also put a lot of effort in to make this bike the cheapest to run in the entire segment. Another important factor which potential clients look at. They went full British here when explaining in a lot of detail that service intervals are 16,000 kilometers or 10,000 miles. That's pretty impressive. That in the first 3 years of ownership, the bike only needs 8.3 hours of labor compared to the 11 and 15.9 hours, very specific here, of its closest competitors. And also that parts are 17% cheaper compared again to its closest competitor, probably the Versus or the Tracer 7. Okay, we get it. It's a bit higher entry price, but in the end, it doesn't have to spend forever in the workshop. Another advantage the Tiger Sport 660 has over its rivals is power. It's based on the new Trident 660 from Triumph again, a bike which has done pretty well for them since its launch, and that triple engine inside puts out 80 horsepower and delivers them in a pretty linear fashion until the 10,250 RPM peak mark. Also, because it's a triple, it offers something different than its competitors, which all come with 2-cylinder engines. More power, less vibrations, and a distinctive sound and character. Seat height, something again which should be accessible enough to please the majority of riders and make the bike unimposing to most, is set at 835mm or almost 33 inches, is non-adjustable, but there is an optional seat which brings this down to 810mm or almost 32 inches. Suspension-wise, we're looking at 41mm upside-down Showa forks with 150mm of travel, completely non-adjustable, a rear shock with the same 150mm or 5.9 inches of travel, which can be adjusted for preload via a remote adjuster for easy access. It was very nice for Triumph to put a remote adjuster so you don't break your hands. This is your standard run-of-the-mill suspension setup and should work out great in the city, back roads, and even long-distance touring, the latter assuming the bike is actually set up properly for riding with a passenger and luggage. Triumph says it is. There is no problem loading it up and touring for long hours, but we'll have to wait and see if that is true or not. Technology on the new Tiger Sport 660 is not lacking like on the Tenere 700, but is also not provided in copious amounts like Dave's cartoon collection. For rider aids, we get 2 riding modes, rain and road, which also means the throttle is ride-by-wire, therefore not snatchy, standard traction control and ABS with no cornering versions available. In Creature Comforts land, the instrument cluster is comprised of a 2-color LCD display which shows all of the important stuff like your speed, fuel level and RPMs, while below that lies a full-color TFT display. If you opt for the optional Triumph connectivity, you get access to turn-by-turn navigation, music, and even GoPro control. If you want to keep costs down, increase the value you provide for your bike, while still living in the 21st century, this small dual-screen setup seems like the way to go about it. Triumph calls the new Tiger Sport 660 an adventure sports motorcycle, and I have a major problem with manufacturers that do this. You can't just go around and call any bike an adventure bike, you'll confuse people. As far as I know, the adventure moniker is the only one used for bikes that are actually designed to be used off-road as well as on-road. The Tiger Sport 660 is not. It's got 17-inch cast wheels, no protection whatsoever, bad suspension for off-roading, so this is definitely a sports tourer meant for sticking to paved roads and doing a good job of it. Although Triumph have said absolutely nothing about this, I am definitely expecting this new 660 platform of theirs to give birth to a proper mid-weight adventure Tiger. Something which was designed to actually be capable and comfortable off-road, go head-to-head with the Tenere 700, the smaller KTMs, etc. I mean, imagine if this Tiger Sport retails for $9,300 with all of its technology and color screens and traction control. I'm expecting the adventure version to hover around $10,000, which is Tenere 700 territory. And we all know that one is allergic to any sort of fancy electronics. Interesting times ahead. I'm very glad Triumph is becoming this major force in the motorcycling world, increasing their lineup year after year, and at the end of the day, being competitive and providing us with more and more choice. In the meantime, why don't you jump down in the comment section below and let us know what you think of their new Sport 660, and if a proper adventure Tiger 660 from them would be something you would consider. And obviously, if not, why not? Well, that's the show for today, everyone. If you've enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up, and if you think you've learned something new, consider subscribing or becoming one of our Patreons. That's where you give Dave money every month and he does absolutely nothing for it to help us make more of these shows. Cheers, and I'll see you on the next one.